Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank you for coming, and let's get started. These are the paints we're going to be using on all of our DIYs. We're going to start out with some skewers or bamboo sticks you can use. Those are actually dowel rods, and I have 4 of these. I don't even know where these little wood pieces came from. I have had them for literally forever, but you can use any piece of wood at Dollar Tree to make these and cut them down or make them whatever size you prefer. We are using the Crimson, the Snow White, and the Ocean in Waverly. As you guys know, those are my favorite paints to use because you do not need as much as like an acrylic paint. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get all 3 of these painted, all 3 different colors so that they match the popsicle sticks. Now, if you've seen my last DIY where I made the firecracker stand or firework stand, these were hanging from the welcome sign on top of the stand. These were also inspired by something that I saw on Amazon. And when I saw that, I knew it would be a perfect idea to make, and you will see a picture of that shortly. So right now I'm just taking my miter shears and cutting these rods down to size so that we have 3 different sizes so that they are kind of, you know, 3 different sizes, one taller, medium, and smaller. And I thought that would just be the perfect way to make these so that they kind of tiered next to each other. I go ahead and hot glue the bottom of those to it and use some tape to just hold it and make it a little extra secure on them. And I go ahead and I do that for all 3 of them. You guys, these DIYs are so simple, so easy, and so much fun. I had a ton of fun making these, and I hope you enjoy them. The very last one is my absolute favorite. So do not skip, do not miss out, and make sure you watch it to the end so that you don't miss out on any of these fun DIYs that anyone can make with all Dollar Tree products. So once I get these figured out the length of the sticks I want to use, this one I actually turned over so I could see them together like next to each other because I knew the first 2 would be fine, but I just wanted to make sure that the 3rd one was placed properly. So I lay them out next to each other, and again I just add some glue. I am using the Gorilla hot glue. It is the only hot glue I use. Here is the picture of the DIY, or not DIY, image from Amazon. And when I went to go I was looking for some 4th of July items on Amazon and to give me some inspiration. When I saw that, I knew it would be the perfect thing to make. And instead of using stars, because I did some other stuff with stars in my first DIY video, you will see that for 4th of July, and I will have that down in the description box. So we're going to take a bead of glue and just put to the bottom. Hold them until they are dry so they do not lean or tumble over. Once they are dry, we're going to go ahead and make some bows. Now I make 2 bows for each of the popsicles, one smaller and one a little larger for the bottom. This ribbon is also from Dollar Tree, but it is actually from the seascape or beach theme that they came out with, but it is absolutely adorable for 4th of July, and I absolutely love it. It's almost really thick. It's like a leather feel because of the texture of it. So I just wanted to show you how I made one and not make you guys sit through all of them. So I just made a easy shoestring bow, and those were the most simple, easiest ways to make them, and they turned out adorable. So I'm not going to show you gluing each one of these on, but I do a small one at the top and the large one at the bottom. Here I am showing you, you see how I glob a little bit more glue all the way around to really give it some extra strength. Hold that because obviously it's really hot and it's going to melt the glue that is already there. So you want to hold it again and see how it's got like a more of a blob there, but your bow is going to cover that, so do not worry. And here is our end result. Next, we're going to take one of these Dollar Tree crates and turn it into a book. Obviously, a lot of people make these. I have made a ton of these for every holiday, and I figured we needed one for 4th of July for my tier tray. So we're going to start out with our red crimson again, and I'm going to go all the way around the top of the book, we'll call it. and just paint it all the way around. Make sure you tape your edging. Now I'm going to tape it to where it actually is at the bottom of that first little lip, because I'm going to make sure that when I paint, there is actually a very thin piece of the wood that shows in between the red, the white, and the blue, just like it does on the front. I'm very OCD, you guys, so if you don't want to do that, you can just paint it as you normally would. Not a big deal, and you won't be able to really tell right here, but even putting the tape down just gives you a really clean, crisp line. So I highly recommend that if you're like me and have horribly shaky hands. So we're going to go ahead and get the red all the way around and get that painted. And then once that's done, I'm going to let that dry. Look at that line, crisp, clean lines all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for a second, and then we move on to our white. So then I'm going to take the white, I'm going to start out and just, you guys, I'll be honest with you also, I absolutely love makeup brushes for my paint brushes. You will see most of the time I use makeup brushes because number one, they just paint better. They put a better layer of paint down than these other paint brushes that I use. Now I do have some actual paint brushes. I've actually gotten a pretty substantial pack from Temu that were thick and thin, but they splatter, and that's what I don't like about cheaper paint brushes. I do have some really nice paint brushes, but I use those on more, I don't know, high-end decor when I'm making it. So now I will show you, I'm just going to fold it and I'm going to place that tape right over the red, but also where the top of the white line would start. So I know it's kind of confusing. So there's going to be a little piece of the tan you're going to see on both sides, and that's going to go right up to the bottom. I didn't realize I didn't get it that right the first time, so I go back over. You guys take your time. There's no rush doing these. And again, if you don't want to have that line in between that looks like the tan line going all the way around, you do not have to do that. No one's going to see it anyway. I'm just really OCD. And you guys know that about me, so I appreciate everyone that deals with my OCD self because it doesn't have to be perfect. Anyway, so when we pull these off, you guys can see that there is a tan line in between and it goes all the way around, and we do that for both sides. You guys, taking these off are just like life to me. You guys, I'm telling you, I love a clean, crisp line. I'm sure everybody does. That's why I use tape. So once that's done all the way around, I'm just kind of showing you up close so that you can see how it kind of matches and gives that tan line in between. If you were wondering why I was doing it, that is why. So once we let the white and the red dry, I go ahead and I get started on the blue. And this is the paintbrush I was talking about that, I don't know, it just splatters. And I noticed it on my last DIY, and I tried it again on this one. Now, it does a great job painting and covering. I mean, any paintbrush will, but I just prefer makeup brushes. Plus, I can get them in a value pack on Amazon, much cheaper than high quality paintbrushes. So that's what I usually do. I'm going to go ahead and tape and then do the same around the edges, around the bottom. And make sure, yes, you get your edges. Make sure you get the sides. And then when you're painting, go back over the other side, because when you wipe outwards, paint can go around the side of it. So I always make sure I just get those little sides and repaint over them so that it doesn't have a thickness to them on the sides, like a little blob. See, I was fixing it over there. I absolutely love these colors together for 4th of July. I think that they are just such a great complement for red, white, and blue. And they really, really do, because they're the Waverly. And I will be honest with you, you guys, those little bottles are only like $2 a bottle, and they last a very long time. So here we go. Here's our box painted all together. And as you see, the tan line in between looks coherent all the way around it. Now I'm going to take this Dollar Tree stencil with the stars. And I'm so glad I bought this. I didn't get myself painting it though, you guys. I'm so sorry. So I did catch it pulling it off when I realized I wasn't recording. I did stop myself so you guys could see. So now that that is dried, I'm just going to take some of this jute twine and I'm just going to tie it around like a book stack and just tie it and make a really pretty little bow on top. And you guys, that is all for this one. These are so simple. And the amount of money that you spend in buying these items, it is just ridiculous anymore. So the fact that if I can, bring you guys inspiration to make these items yourself and realize that everyone can make them. If you would like to follow my directions, all you have to do in the top right corner, there's like a little wheel sign. You can click on that and then it will slow it down, the video down for you so you can follow step by step. I'm going to take one of these night lights and turn it into a little 4th of July one. And it's so cute because it shines blue. I will show you what it looks like plugged in at the end. These next two DIYs are so quick and so easy that if you blink, you may miss them. So this is it for this. I take a star, I add it to it, and you guys, it turned out absolutely adorable. I trim around the edges where they're hanging off just a tad so that you don't see that with the light shining on it. And you guys, that was it for these. Now let's take a look at the end result. Now we're going to take this super small, super adorable little easel, and we are going to take also some more of those window clings, and we're going to make another sign for my tier tray, or anywhere really you could put this, but I'm going to use it for my tier tray. And I take the red, white, and cool sign. Now mind you, I do move it in just a second to fit 3 stars above it, but you guys, this little easel is so stinking cute, and you can take off these and change them for every single season. So with whatever window clings you choose, Dollar Tree always has the cutest little window clings, like really, really cute ones for every holiday. So I will totally be reusing this for fall, for Christmas, and I will definitely bring you guys along so I can show you exactly how I do that. I'm going to add one more red star after I move this blue one and see how easy they are to move. It's so slick and so easy, and here's the end result. Now we're going to take one of these little Dollar Tree palettes and I'm going to turn this into a little American flag. I'm going to take some paint and just put it across 2 of the, or to give me 2 little areas to paint, 2 little palette slabs to paint in blue. And that is where our blue will go and our stars. And so I just go ahead and paint this all over with the blue and get it a nice even coat on it. You guys, these DIYs are really super simple and so easy to make. So once I get this painted, I go ahead and I get the paint, or the paint. It's late, y'all. Get the tape taken off, and it gives us those beautiful crisp lines. Once again, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to add paint over, or tape over those blue stripes so that I don't get any red or white on them. Now I will say, where the white goes, you could totally leave the natural wood, and it looked really pretty, but I figured I would go ahead and just paint it white so that it matched the other colors that I was doing. See how really cute that looks with just the plain wood? So I go ahead and I grab the white, and I decide to just go ahead and paint them white so that it blends in and matches all of the other red, white, and blue DIYs that I have made. And so those paintbrushes I absolutely love. I mean, they really just are amazing. I get those at Walmart, and they're just super thick, and they make a really nice strip of paint go on so easy. So once we get those painted and they are nice and clean, we go ahead and get that tape taken off. And so once I do that, it gives just the prettiest little lines, and it keeps it covered. It's still kind of wet, but you guys, I'm impatient, you know that, and so I keep going. So once I let this dry, I'm going to go ahead and start taking my paint pen, and I'm going to add some stars to it. We're going to do our little kindergarten stars. Y'all know that I am not a professional here, and I do not know how to draw, and I have the worst handwriting, so there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the stars, and I just put 4 stars, you know, up and down. And really, that is all. I'm going to let that dry, and then here's the end result. Here is another super sweet, fun DIY. I don't know where I saw this. I think it was Pinterest. And so we're going to take some of these little, I don't know, shot glasses, shot cups from Dollar Tree, and some of these little tiny miniature styrofoam balls. And we are going to make some adorable snow cones for our tier tray. So I take 2 red and 2 blue, and I put a little ball in each one of them. And then I'm going to show you how I add just a little bead of glue inside to just make sure that they're, you know, held on there easily. So I just go around the rim on the inside, put the little styrofoam ball right back in it, clean up some glue around it, and they are good to go. And then we're going to do the same thing on all of them all the way around, just to make sure they're secure and they're not falling over and like the snow cones rolling around in my tier tray. And then we're going to start with our little red one. I'm not going to show you how to paint every single one of these, but I do one plain one, and then I do one classic snow cone color. And I just wanted to show you how to do one of each, so that if you decide to make these, you know how I did them. And so I'm just going to take the blue and I'm going to just paint all over it like a snow cone. These turned out absolutely adorable. This was my favorite DIY until the next one. The last one is hands down my favorite, and I think it may be yours too. So we're almost there, so keep watching. These Patriotic color changing straws I got at Walmart for 98 cents, and they are absolutely adorable, and they really do change with like the weather in the house, or not the weather, but the air quality in the house. Like if it's warmer, they turn clear. If it gets cooler, they turn blue or red. So now I'm going to show you how I do like a classic snow cone. Like if you ever went to Snow Cone Man, you're like, I want, 2 different colors. They do one on one side and one on the other. That's what I'm doing here, but I'm leaving a little bit of white in the middle to do like a red, white, and blue theme for these. And you guys, my Olivia thought these were the cutest things ever. She was like, Mommy, can I have one of those? And I was like, well, you can't drink it. It's not real. So I actually am going to be ordering a snow cone machine for the kids for the summer, because I think that they're just great to have. And because we live in the country, we don't really have like snow cone huts or, ice cream men that come around here. So I think it'll be fun to have one of those. And I just take a baby wipe and wipe around the rim to get any excess paint off. And there it is. You guys, how stinking cute is this? Here's the end result. All right, guys, here is our last DIY. We're going to be using these Jenga blocks, and this is also another Pinterest inspired. We're going to take 3 Jenga blocks and make 4 sets of 3. And then we're going to glue those 3. Libby's little hand trying to snatch my little block stealer. So we're going to take 3. I know it's harder to explain than just watching this. So I'm just taking 3 and I'm putting them together, and I'm going to make 4 sets of those all the way down. And then you see how there's 2 sets now? I'm going to glue those together. So makes it a little thicker. It makes it a little easier to stand up. Oh my gosh, you guys, this thing turned out absolutely adorable. I don't want to tell you what I'm making just yet. I want to see if you guys can figure it out as I DIY this. So once those are together, we're going to start painting. I'm going to paint the bottom 2 sets blue all the way around. So we're going to paint the front, we're going to paint the sides, we're going to paint the back. And that way, whatever side you're looking at it from, it's completely painted all the way around. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't do the lines at the top all the way around. I don't want to give it any more. Well, let's keep going. So, so I go ahead and I kind of paint in the cracks just because now you're not going to really see those lines. I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, what is this? And those lines look horrible, but I promise you, once this is done, you're not going to really see it. So I'm going to take the color. Oh, what color is it? We are using cashew in the middle for those three. So we're going to do the 2 bottom blue. The third set is going to be cashew, and the top of it is going to be the Snow White. So we're going to paint that all the way around. And you guys, if you get paint somewhere else, like I do a billion times painting this, it's completely fine. Just take a little thin brush and take whatever color it's supposed to be and paint over it. See, I got some right there. Not a biggie. You guys know I shake more than a truck being drove over, a rocky road. So just do your best. It's not a big deal. You can always fix those little imperfections. Now we're going to take our Snow White and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to paint this all the way around. You guys, I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this DIY. If I can inspire you to make anything at all, it would be this, because this is so easy and yet so stinking adorable. See, I get some right there. Not a big deal. So we're going to go ahead and paint the top. Now I take a popsicle stick and I just cut the ends off so they're not rounded. And I go ahead and distress this all the way around so that it looks, not stark white, and it just kind of blends in a little bit and makes it look a little more, just old, really was my idea I was going for. Now we're going to take some tape, and I just cut a piece of tape in 4 pieces to lay across this, and I try to make them as even as possible, not the width wise, I don't really care too much about that, but just on the top of it in general, spacing them out. That one I noticed was a little too thick, so I cut it down again. And so you guys, this is seriously the easiest DIY. So I go ahead and cut it down again and lay it down. I realize that one's not quite in the middle and fix it. So now we're going to take our crimson and red and paint all over that. Remember to rub those pieces down on the tape on the ends before you start painting. That way the paint doesn't bleed under. I always forget to do that till after I've already started painting, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this red crimson and I'm going to paint all over it and give it a really nice coat of the crimson. And then once I get done, we're going to take the tape off. As you see, I got some red on the tan, not a problem. I just go over it in just a second, but I leave these parts in to show you that I am not perfect. So what do you guys think? Where are we going with this? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait till you see the end result. So I go ahead and take some of the cashew over it and clean that right on up, and that was fine. Now we're going to take some Spanish moss. I'm going to take just a pinch of this out. Really what I took out was way too much, but I'd rather have enough out than not enough, so I don't have to go back again. So I'm going to just kind of break this up, and then we're going to take that popsicle stick and we're going to go ahead and get that glued on, because that is his hat. So I just take a bead of glue, figure out where I'm going to place it first. And then I take a bead of glue and I just get that glued on and get his little hat on there. How cute is this? Oh my gosh, I had so much fun making this. So once I get his hat on, we're going to start with the glue around. We're just going to follow the edge, follow the blue line across the top of the blue line and back up the other side of what we are going to make is his beard. So I take some hot glue and just go all the way around. You guys, there's no rhyme or reason, and I know it looks a little messy at first, but no worries. He gets a haircut and it gets dolled up. So once I go ahead and get all of that down, getting the glue off my fingers as we go, because you guys know I don't use finger protectors, and just be very careful because it does get hot. But Kaylee says I have mom fingers and don't feel the heat, which I probably don't. So I go ahead and I just continue to like fluff this on and around. I don't want it to cover the middle of his face, so I'm trying to really pay attention of how I'm adding this on there. And then we go ahead and make a strip of glue down the other side, and I'm talking about just a really small bead of glue, and then just add it. Now remember, it can be thick and bushy, but we're gonna fix that in just a few. And this piece was kind of long, which was great because I got to add it across the middle and back up the other side, which made that side just a little bit more full and was perfect. So I add another bead of glue and just glue another piece down. And then where are we going next with this? Oh my gosh, he is adorable. So I'm not gonna do his little haircut just yet. I wanna get the nose placed on him so I can see quite where I need to go with trimming his beard around. So I just take a regular bead. It has 2 holes or a hole on each side of it, nothing fancy, but I do paint it the color cashew so that it matches his face. And I just hold it down for a minute, and then I go in with the very fine tip paintbrush, and I'm just going to do beads of eyes. Now, I was going to use my paint pen, but for some reason, when I used it on the first popsicle stick, it like really bled. And so I just decided I wasn't going to write anything on the popsicle stick, and I would just do paint for his little eyes. And I think it turned out absolutely adorable, just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. So now that I've gotten his little face done, we're going to go ahead and give him a little haircut and get his little beard ship shape tight and get him ready for the tiered tray. So I just go all the way around, just trimming back and forth, you know, brushing it off, seeing what hangs and what is around. I don't want to take too much off because I think that it just gives it character, but I do want to just kind of clean it up somewhat and make sure that it's not above his hat. Kind of go around, and then you see me like tapping it on the back. That's just to get whatever has fallen into his face to fall off. Some of it I just pick up and just cut off so that it just, kind of isn't hanging like too low and into his, hat. And then, you guys, how adorable is this? I take the bottom of my paintbrush and I'm just going around and cleaning out, any of the little pieces that have fallen, moving it back just a little more. You can see the holes on each side of what is considered his nose, but I don't really mind that. I don't have any beads that didn't have any holes, so I went with what I had and just made it work with the items that I did have because I didn't go and buy anything special to make this. So now I'm going to take some red and white jute, and I'm just going to, give a little bit more to the bottom of him so it's not just so blue. I could have put stars on him also, as the one I saw had stars, but I thought it would be cute just to leave it like that. And instead of adding the stars and doing a tan jute, I would do the red and white, and I just kind of crisscross it, cross it across the back, and then come back over, and that is it. So I take a bead of glue around the back of him, and I glue that piece down. And then be careful because that rope is kind of thin and you don't want to touch that glue. Hold it with your knife, and then I snip it off, and I do glue it again just to give it a little extra support, and making sure that it really does stay. Use your scissors to hold it down. And you guys, that is it. Here's our end result. If you've made it this far, thank you so very much. Make sure you like this video and let me know what your favorite DIY is down in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.